Welcome back. In this video, let's look at the solution to the exercise from the previous videos. Right? I'm going to uncomment these two tests. And what we would want to do is we would want to do something very similar to this here, right? So just copy this code from here, the entire 3 lines. I think that's cool. And over here, I'll replace these by this. Cool. Now this is returning 1, 2, 3. Instead of that, I'll do this. Here it should return a 5 back, right? Cool. Now let's see if this works fine. Right click, run as JUnit test. Okay, awesome. All 3 tests succeed. All 3 tests are using a mock. But is this the end of the solution? Are you happy with these tests? I am not, because what we have in here is a lot of duplication, right? So how can we prevent that? So I can actually move this stuff in here. So let's do that. So I can actually move this thing out, this thing out as well. So we moved these 2 lines of code outside. Now this test is much more simpler. We have very few lines of code. One of the things which I see in common in all of these is again this line, business.setDataService. So if you're familiar with JUnit test, one of the ways you can actually have that happen, can we have a line of code outside, something like this in here? No, it's not allowed, right? So the way we can do that, if I want something to be executed before every test, the way we can do that is by saying at before. If you're using JUnit 5, then the annotation is at before each, public void before. And that's it. Let's import the before annotation. So what would happen is this set some data business service will be invoked on this. So let's remove the at line as well from here. Cool. So what we are trying to do is refactor the test and make it much more easier to read, right? So right click, run as JUnit test. Cool. The unit tests continue to succeed even now, right? So this is cool. Now, how can I further improve it? I think as far as this particular thing is concerned, I'm just stubbing the data in. That's cool. I can probably just say I can inline this, or right click, refactor, inline. So it makes it easier for us to read the test, right? So now it's much more easier to read this test. I can remove this whole thing, and here the result is 0. And over here the result expected is 5. So let's change that as well. So what we are doing now is we reduce the entire test out to very, very simple code, right? This is much more easier, much more readable than what we had earlier. Isn't this cool? This is awesome, right? So in this step, we looked at the solutions for the exercises in the previous videos, and also we tried to make the whole test even better. One of the things is we can make this test even better, and that's what we will look at in the next step. Until then, bye.